Hey all, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. Looks like I am slow motion frozen, probably because we're streaming TV in the other room. The kids are watching TV. I'm hoping this will work because the slow motion doesn't look like my voice is working at all. Always entertaining. Technology, always entertaining. I want to go ahead and share my screen. Thomas Addy, I might be pronouncing his name wrong, actually made a post today on Facebook on the ClickFunnels site and asked for some feedback on his funnel. It looks like he's got a couple things going on here. It looks like it's a free plus shipping offer, which we'll get to down below. It's a little bit higher shipping expense than I've ever seen for this size item. And so that might be something that has to get rethought out or repositioned in some way, shape, or form. Not sure. And then the other thing he's also doing here on this page is offering a free download of the 5 business mistakes that salespeople make on the phones when they're doing phone sales. So he's talking about, a tool that he's obviously created to help overcome objections for phone sales. And it's pretty non-specific language that he starts out with. I love the layout. I love the colors. It's a really nice looking funnel. I think that's really terrific. I love the video, but we'll talk about that in a minute and a couple other things. But as far as the funnel goes, he's got everything he needs here, to have a successful funnel. It's professional. It's laid out well. It looks good. The graphics are good. Just a couple of things. How to sell to people who say no without applying pressure. I don't know. You guys would have to answer for me if that's a compelling headline. How to sell to people who say no without applying pressure. It does follow the how to without number one sales or the number one headline formula, but it's a little bit, I don't want to say wishy-washy, but it's a little bit, it could be stronger. I think that there would be much stronger ways of saying that, and with a stronger how to without statement. I actually like without applying pressure, but maybe something about overcoming objections in the next part, and only while supplies last. But as I look at this, it's a little confusing because you're talking about in this second headline, the cards themselves, but then you've got a button below this graphic of a free download about the 5 business mistakes sales people make. And then when you click this button, I will show you, it goes to the pop-up, and the pop-up talks about that. And I actually had to get my magnifying glass out. I think we know I have not great eyes, but I had to get my magnifying glass out to see what this says. And it says top 5 mistakes that are, and then it looks like 5 made on the phone that are, and I don't know if that's a 5, if that should be there or not. It seemed confusing to me, that little bit of a graphic. The other thing I noticed is there's like a whole bunch of different fonts going on this website. General rule of thumb is to pick one main style of font and then maybe have 1, maximum 2 accent fonts. But just on this page alone, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 7 different fonts going on. So it makes it a little busy seeming. You can do that. But again, if this was, are you a salesperson that does this? Top 5 mistakes. And then that should have a question mark or ... And then I would go with a much bolder font than this. And then a report by Tommy Addy. Private, we won't spam. That's good to have that statement. But that privacy protected statement could be really small, and it could be up underneath the download report button, now. And where should we email your report? Again, really weak call to action, right? And then download report now. There are so many more exciting, I like to say pithy or sexy ways of saying that and kind of commanding people and telling them what to do than just say download report now. You know, kind of like, give me my 5 secrets, or give me my 5 mistakes, or I want to know, or as if you'd be actually talking to people to kind of get them excited so that they want to get this report. I'm going to hide this, and then we're going to go back. So the pop-up again, and then I want to just check one thing now that I just said that. One of my personal pet peeves is when there's a lot of different colors on a page. So I would suggest making sure that this red button is the same red as this red button, and that this red headline font is the same color as this red, so that you're only using one blue throughout the whole page and through the whole funnel, one red throughout the whole funnel. And I know some people like the more muted look, but I used to be in printing, and so it drives me crazy. Actually, I was in printing in a couple of businesses. It drives me a little bit crazy, and only maybe it's only my mind gets confused by the little bit of a difference in color, but it is confusing to me. And so take that with a grain of salt, but a confused mind says no. So when I see this, which I did actually enter my email, and the button does not work, so it just might not be linked up to your or integrated to your email yet. So make sure that you do that, because I would have already gotten this otherwise. But as far as the colors and the fonts go, I would simplify this. This can be a really simple page. This should probably not take up any more space than this below the submit line. This, a report by Tommy Addy. I mean, I think you could incorporate that up here as like a subheadline. It doesn't need to be that big. And all this space is kind of like wasted white space. You don't need it. So why make a pop-up this big if you don't need it to be this big? And again, the size of this warning for we hate spam, this can be way smaller. It doesn't have to be that big. Let's go back to our page. So headline, something super compelling. You know, what is the number one problem that they have, and how do these cards solve it? I think these are a great idea, by the way. I love flashcards and card things. I'm going to show a secret right here. I do a lot of content creation and videos, and I actually use note cards to create what my topics are going to be. And I brainstorm topics, and then every morning when I'm doing my content, all I have to do is pull out a card, and I use it as a flashcard to tell me what I'm going to talk about today for my content. So I don't know, I love the whole card thing. And as far as handling objections and scripts and things go, when my ex-husband and I did real estate, I actually had, and I still have, little Post-it notes and things written around and hung on. And then I'd have a little setup stack that would be, you know, the most common objections, and then what my response was to those. So this is number one, a great training tool. Look at, I'm selling it for the guy. A great training tool, a great, just a great learning tool, but also a great thing to have at your fingertips if you're new and you want to increase your confidence when you're talking to people and dealing with objections. Because you're going to get them. People are going to have objections. And mostly they're going to have objections if you haven't convinced them that you can solve their problem. So their number one problem is handling objections that other people have for them. So you need to make sure that you do a really good job handling their objections and anything that might come up with respect to this particular product. So again, it looks like, and I did not fill out the 2-step order form, but I personally love those. Get your tactical phone objection cards shipped in less than 48 hours. Okay, that's cool. And they're called tactical phone objection cards. Bullet points. These are all features. And I would challenge you to turn these into benefits. Okay, there's 20 custom cards. What's in it for your ideal person that's looking at these? What's in it for them? Because they could not care less about any of these features. Guaranteed to help you sell more. And we'll go down and find out below. I don't know that there was a guarantee for this product at all. So again, use of space here. This could probably be shortened up a ways, and I would actually make this free download. I would take this out of this box, unless this is just a graphic, and I would put it down here as a headline, a separate headline, and I would sell that 5 biggest mistakes free report that you're giving them on its own and on its own merit, because where it is right here, it's confusing. I actually thought I could click on this to I don't know what, to get a free download. And then it took me to the pop-up. And I'm not usually easily confused, although today I will admit I have been confused twice now by the way funnels behave. One had a button down below that clicked back up to the top of the funnel. And I didn't, because I have my screen so large usually because of my magnifying glass eyes. I didn't see that below the fold there was another button that just needed to be pushed to fill out. But that doesn't matter. But I would say turn these into benefits. So what's in it for me as the salesperson that's getting objections to have 20 custom cards? That's got to be a benefit, not just that there's 20 custom cards. Rebuttals printed on the back. Learn the top 20 ways to overcome common objections. Perfect for sales training. These are all features. And I'm going to tell you right now, somebody looking at this and reading this couldn't care less. And this is way too valuable real estate as far as online real estate location goes to have this as wasted words. You want this to be things that draw them in and make them want to fill out that form on the right. And none of these features are going to make me want to fill out that form on the right, which is probably why I didn't fill out the form on the right. Now, here you say for the first time, and I didn't see it before, used in top dealerships nationwide. I would honestly find some way to totally target dealerships. And I know down below your testimonies are all from people that have, it looks like motorsport dealerships. Let me see. Power sports, motorsports. So they're all motorsport type organizations. I would target them and dealerships. And are you targeting car dealerships with this or just motorsport dealerships? But I would actually probably put on here a little attention dealership sale, or something about who I'm exactly speaking to. And I would target this toward salespeople that work in dealerships, probably newer salespeople that work in dealerships, or people that work in dealerships that are struggling with their sales or to meet their quotas because they need sales training because they can't handle objections, so they can't close a sale. But I would be targeting this more specifically toward dealerships and salespeople at dealerships instead of keeping it wide open. Because it's wide open, it's easy to overlook and people aren't going to see it. You're also going to have a heck of a time deciding how to target and advertise to this, because if you're going after everybody, you're going after nobody. If you're speaking to all salespeople, this isn't going to speak to all salespeople because it's specific. The cards are specific to someone in a dealership. I already mentioned the video, which is excellent.
Hey guys, Tommy 80 here. I wanted to show you something before the weekend that I just got in 1,500 of them. Tactical phone closing cards right there.
I want to pause this a minute. They don't care, and they should not know how many of these you have. If you've got 1,500, that takes away their sense of urgency to buy this now. They're like, he's got over 1,000. I can wait a while to buy this. You want everything you say in this video to get them salivating and having to have these cards and having to get them now because you have a limited supply. You don't ever want to tell them you have over 1,000 of something. You want them to think you only have like 5 left or something. Pick a number that makes sense to you, but only a few. You want it to be scarcity and limited time offer and rare. You don't want them to think that every possible dealership salesperson has access to these cards.
20 objections, rebuttals on the back for your salespeople, for you.
I also think you tell them way too much in this. I think you want to keep some mystery and hold back some things. I'm going to comment on that down below where you actually list out every one of the objections. I would knock that down to like 3 to 5, maybe 7 at the most of the top the cards of the objections that you hear the most often, and make sure there's no really similar sounding or repeat things in there. You can tell them what's in it, but not the details of it, because they don't care about the features. What is this going to do for them? What is being able to handle it costs too much objection going to be able to do for them? Is it going to be able to help them close 50% more sales? Is it going to, come up with some concrete, specific examples like that and mention that in the video, but don't tell them all of the features. Again, just like in the box above, you don't want to just be reiterating and listing out the features. It's got to be what's in it for them. Why do they want to buy this right now? Why do they have to have these to get the result they want? Well, they want to make more sales. They want to close more sales. And how are these cards going to help them do that?
If you've got a BDC, all sorts of people, you can use these to close deals over the phone. Just overcome objections, but it's too expensive. You're the first place I've called. What else do we have? That's not enough for my trade. It goes on and on. Go to instantphonescripts.com and you'll find these closer cards right there. I'm going to open them up. Let's see.
I do like that you're showing them the cards. Again, don't show them everything.
Just came in. They're putting them together right now. But check it out. Got all sorts of things. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's not enough for my trade.
I would just pick one to show. I wouldn't show them all. You can shuffle through them so they can see that there's 20 of them, but I would only show and talk about one card. So pick your favorite, talk about that, talk about how this has helped you to close more sales, knowing this close, and give some examples from your past experience. I mean, they want concrete examples of how this helped you, be the number one salesperson at your dealership or close 20% more sales or whatever it is. Tell them some concrete examples because then they can live vicariously through you and know that it's possible for them too.
Anyway, all the rebuttals are on the back. We handle those for you. You don't have to think about that. You got to practice them though. The other cool thing.
I do love that you say you got to practice them though. And then talk about how they can, use these and then make them their own. They can customize them by adding their own personality and their own spin on them. Because one thing that people hate when they go into a selling or buying situation is a salesman who they can tell has memorized some script, is just spewing it out at them based on their objections. That will make people run for the hills faster than anything.
Incoming call guide. Got those in here. 10 rules, phone on the back. Don't wait to get these. That's what's in this email that you probably opened just now. Take a look at it. These things are awesome. I've got them on sale at the moment, but it's Memorial Weekend, and that's it.
And this is what I was talking about, Memorial Weekend on sale. One thing I try to do in all my videos, especially promo videos for emails and for webinars and things, is keep that really generic and keep the date and time out of there. Now, I am guilty of in a couple of my videos of saying, Happy Mother's Day or Happy Father's Day, but those are Facebook Lives that I'm not going to use for anything else. They're just going to be out there in the, the social media universe. But when you're doing something like this for a sales video, for a sales presentation, make sure that you don't mention a specific date. Hey, these are on sale for this weekend only, or for the next 4 days, or we've only got 10 left. When these 10 are gone, they're gone. Something like that. To again,
it's over.
Yep, and that's over.
Guys, Tommy 80 here.
Let me get out of here now. What else we got? The step 1, step 2 buttons. Yeah, you can leave those the same. Let me read this a minute. Where to ship your cards. I like that. Upgrade now and save. I would think about changing that verbiage. I'm not sure what you're doing, but I don't think upgrade now and save is doing anything for you. I mean, their info, where to ship your cards, that's good because you're telling them, but I don't know that you want to say upgrade now and save. You don't really necessarily on this page want them to know that you're asking for their credit card information next. Remember the purpose of the 2-step order form is to get them saying yes by filling in their information on the first page. Now, you know that they're going to put in their credit card information on the next page, but you haven't even told them in this part above the fold that you're expecting them to buy something. All you've shown them here is that there's a free download for this 5 mistakes report, and you've talked about these cards, but you haven't told them how much it costs or anything. So they don't necessarily know by looking at this until they hit that go to step 2 button that they need to put in their credit card information because you're trying to sell them something. The purpose of this page, the entire purpose of this page, which is a little convoluted by having the free lead magnet offer and the 2-step order form is confusing because it's a free lead magnet offer dressed up with a free plus shipping offer that is, it's questionable whether it's a free plus shipping offer or it should just be an e-com offer, at least to me as I go down and read. So I honestly think that this video should be where this graphic is. And your video should be all about selling them to click on this button and selling them to get these cards and adding scarcity and limited quantity so that they want to act now and get these cards immediately. And then if it's a free plus shipping offer, you need to tell them it's a free plus shipping offer in your video, but encourage them by saying and sharing just what the benefits are for them, not the features. Nobody cares that there's 20 cards. Nobody cares that there's responses on the back. They want to know what's in it for them. But I would probably put the video where that graphic is. And then I would probably take this whole free offer thing and put that somewhere else on the page, maybe where this is. And then I would make this graphic all about that. Or I wouldn't say anything about it. And I would have it be an exit pop. And when they pop out and exit, I would then offer this as a headline, the free download, 5 mistakes. And I'd have a really good headline on here. Hey, before you go, even though you didn't take advantage of my awesome free plus shipping offer, make sure you get this free report about the 5 biggest mistakes that salespeople make. And I would, again, 5 biggest mistakes. This headline needs some sex appeal. Even if this is all on the exit pop, it needs some more reason for them to click on it and get it. But that way, as they're exiting and leaving, they're still getting something free. And it takes the mixed message of having, hey, here's this free thing you can click on and get off of the page where you're trying to get them to take advantage of the free plus shipping offer. And now you're back to just focusing in on this page. The only thing you want them to do is fill in their address on this page. And actually, the only thing you want them to do before they click that blue button is fill in their address on this page so that they can move to the second step and they can get the cards for free plus shipping, right? So let's see here. What are instant phone cards? Yep, you can tell them what it is. You can tell them what it's not. That they're a shortcut. That's a benefit for them, right? It's a shortcut. So instead of having to take a 1 day or 2 day or week long or 6 month sales program, hey, we're just cutting to the chase and we're giving you the answers to objections right off the bat. Again, I don't know that I would put this many out. I mean, unless you've tested it and you know that, hey, they need to see 6 of them, I would maybe put 3 and make them a little bit bigger. I also would make sure that the 3 I pick they don't in any way, shape, or form feel like a repeat. Like when I see it's too expensive and your price is too high, those to me feel like they're very similar objections. I know they're different and there's tweaks for them, but they feel really similar. So I would probably only use one or the other of that. Then, you're the first place I've looked and I have another place to look. Those both kind of say the same thing too. And I'm going to think it over some more. That's a good one. I'd have that one there. I would have one of the money ones there. And I'll look and see what other ones I would have there. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a car or motorsport gal at all. I do have 4-wheelers and things like that and snowmobiles, but I'm not really a motorsport person. So I'm probably not your target audience. So think about that. And here you laid out all 20 objections for them. So they now know what are the top 20 objections. So you've given them all that information and they didn't even know they were getting that information. I would cut this in about a fourth. I'd maybe have 5 of the top ones, and I would maybe make them 3 of them the same as the 3 that you put the graphic of above. And that's all I would put. I would put like 5 of them and much, much more. I wouldn't list out all 20 because then that gives the person the opportunity to say, well, we covered this in my sales training. I don't need these cards because I've already heard this before. That is like the kiss of death. You don't ever want somebody saying as they're reading your copy, I already know the answer. Therefore, I don't have to get this. I already know the answer, so I don't have to register for your webinar. I already know the answer, so I'm going to say no. So again, I would cut this down to like 5 and only have 5. Again, nothing that sounds repeated or like a repetition. So too expensive or too much money, one of those. I'm not sure if this is the right one for me. That's a good objection to address. Again, you would know the 5 better. You're the sales guy, but pick the 5 that you think would be the most influential and would do the most for getting somebody to want to buy this and get these now. I like this graphic with the cards spread out like that. That looks awesome. Here's where you kind of lost me. Now, you have to do an awesome job selling them on the value of what these cards are worth by giving them concrete examples of the result they can expect to get, the result they can get by killing people's objections and getting more sales. So what will happen is people in their mind will say, well, heck, a deck of cards isn't worth $30. And that's certainly, and here's, I was confusing and thinking this was a free plus shipping offer. So take that out. Take the thing I've said about free plus shipping out. This is more of an e-com type offer or a product sale offer. So ignore what I said about that. But my point is still the same. You still want them. Your main objective is to get them to fill in this shipping information so that they can and will buy these cards. The whole purpose of this page is to get them to buy the cards, not to get them to get a free offer and buy the cards, just to get them to buy these cards. Again, hurry, this offer won't last long. I don't know. It depends in their minds. That's part of why you want to take out of the video how many you've got. Hey, we just got our first printing. They're selling fast. You need to get yours now. Don't know how long they're going to last. Build that up. Really build up that sense of urgency to buy now. Okay. So here you're saying, I'll pay for shipping. Bad reader today. Sorry about that. I'll pay for shipping. You cover the cards. I like that. That's awesome. Make sure that you say that in your video up above. Hey, get these today. I will cover the shipping for you. It's on my dime. It's on my card or whatever. I'll pay for the shipping. Just get these cards today. And then you really need to build up the value of these as being way more than $90. And they're paying $30. So you need to make sure that they know these things are worth at least $300. And so you want to give concrete examples that prove that they will make at least $300. Heck, depending on what they're selling, they ought to get a $300 commission on one sale. So if these help them close one more sale, boom, they've more than covered and paid for themselves. And you can encourage them to, and part of why you're reducing the price is the value and you want to get testimonies from people. And so that's part of why. You got to give them a reason why you're giving them a discounted price. Hey, just got these in. It's our first printing. Looking for testimonials. We know that you will make at least X number of dollars. And again, I don't know what the commission is on a motorsport product, but I got to believe on a $5,000 or God, I think they're 10 now, aren't they? $10,000 recreational vehicle or something that they're making at least, if they're not making $1,000 on that commission, they ought to be, for 500, they ought to be doing something different. So somehow you need to build it up for them that they're going to weigh more than, 10 times the value of these, the cost of these cards, not the value. 10 times the value of them is that they're going to more than 10 times the cost of this offer on just one sale. That's how I would position this. Let me read your check points. Again, these bullet points know exactly how to overcome the 20 most common phone objections to buying. Become a master of the phone. Prevent common mistakes most salespeople make when talking to customers on the phone. Gives you more confidence during phone calls. Overcome objections that all buyers come up with to avoid buying from you. Use closing questions to convert shoppers into buyers. Get a quick deposit so there's less back and forth emails. Okay, I get it. Again, I would make these more what's in it for them, benefit driven, and I would just make it really sound awesome. they're fine, but they're pretty ho-hum. I would give, if I could, some specific examples of how this could be used to give it, what does giving them more confidence mean to them? So I guess the whole point is, yeah, this is what it does, but what does becoming a master of the phone mean to them? Does that mean that they can, spend more time with their family because they're not working all the time, way more hours than they would normally have to because they're closing more deals? What does it mean to them to, getting a quick deposit so that there's less back and forth emails? I mean, what does that mean to them? More time to spend closing additional sales instead of, tracking down people that you've already sold or whatever. This is the tool to use if you're struggling to sell enough. Yes, send my phone cards. Again, I'll pay for shipping. I like the I'll pay for shipping, or free shipping. I would use the word free all over the place. Free shipping, free shipping, free shipping. Get free shipping. Free shipping on my cards now. Something to that effect instead of, yes, send my phone cards and then I'll pay for the shipping in really tiny letters. The best word in marketing is free. The word free. The more you can use it, the better. Now, don't get super carried away, but you want them to know that it's free shipping. You're paying for the shipping, so it's free. Use the word free. This is different and why you want it. This whole section, super weak salesmanship for a salesman, man. And I'm not even a salesman, and I'm going to say that. And I hope it doesn't sound too harsh, but this is different and why you want this. You need to be telling them why this is different and why they want it in really direct, specific language, and not saying, hey, maybe this is for you. My answer to you is maybe. Listen, I know what it's like to be in sales. I think you can share your story and say that. I'm a real life salesperson. Well, yes, I'm glad you're a salesperson, but you might be wondering, is this really going to help me with my sales? Well, maybe. This is great for email copy or for sharing your story on a Facebook Live post. It's not awesome sales copy for your funnel and for your sales page. I love that they're based off real experiences, but I would say based on 25 years in the trenches or in the selling trenches or something like that. I mean, really beef this up. And again, whole lot of white space here that you don't need. If you're going to keep this white space here, throw in a guarantee seal or something. But I don't know that these are guaranteed at all. So probably don't want to put in a guaranteed seal. Testimonials are fine. Again, if they were more specific, they would be a little more powerful. This has got to be the easiest way to increase your sales. I've been using instant cards for a year. Okay, yeah. Kind of boring. It'd be great if you could get them to give you an example of how it's increased their sales. Hey, I doubled my sales. Using these scripts, or I got 25% more closings because of these cards. Something. Again, these are fine for right now, but I will say that you'll get better results from things that are more specific. And again, the button repeat, I like the buttons, but free shipping in big, bold letters. And again, send me my cards. How about give me my cards? I got to have these cards now. Something that makes people a little bit more excited about getting these. I know that's a lot. I hope it's not too much, but it really, as far as my first impression goes of this, I think that those are some changes that will make it a lot more powerful. Again, like everything else, I always tell people you have to test things, but based on what I've done with folks, I know that these things will help to get you better attention and better conversion. Again, use the word free up here. In this empty space, I would probably have some kind of a graphic, and I would have free shipping in big, bold red letters, right? And I would have this normal price smaller, and I would have on sale now and the actual price bigger and bolder. I'm not sure why you use the orange with that. If it's a style change or something, but I would probably go back and I would make these headlines red or maybe yellow if you want to use another color. Not yellow. Yellow headlines suck. I would probably not use this orange though. Again, 2 colors plus black and white is a good rule of thumb for design. So you've got your red, your blue, your black, and your white, and, and shades of gray count as black and white. But that's it. That's what I've got for right now. I hope this was helpful. I hope you don't think I was too harsh. I just think you've got a great product and a great opportunity to really hone in on and make some great sales and have some really good success with this. Alrighty, that's it. Let me pop back to Be Live, see if I have any questions. I do not. So I am going to sign off and say good luck with this, Tommy. I'm excited to see how it works out for you. Bye.